welcome back to Kicks Over Coffee. It's Andy Polk back at you again. Thanks for joining. This video channel has exceeded our wildest dreams. We've got over 400 people signed up to get all the video drops every time this comes out. And what's so great about this channel is the diversity of conversations we get to have over a casual cup of coffee. And as my mentor once said, never underestimate a cup of coffee with a friend to learn something new. So I've got my friend here with me, Jason Robinson. He's the founder and CEO of Avoco out of Canada. Jason, welcome back to Kicks Over Coffee. How are you doing?
Thank you, Andy. I'm pretty good. Awesome. Interesting times.
Yeah, exactly. I want to jump right in and talk about your insole Fates. It recently won, congratulations, won an award, the Drapers Award over at the UK.
Thank you.
For Best Sustainable Initiative of the Year. Maybe, quickly talk about that, because obviously you have to enter into the competition and there's judges that choose that. So what do they see in Fates that makes it so sustainable in their eyes?
Well, it was interesting, actually. We're selected. We didn't even enter ourselves in. You get selected. You don't know who the judges are. There's no PRing or marketing in this thing. It's pure play. You've been selected based on a panel of judges. And so what their comments and feedback is that not only is the product a good product and can be applicable, but the broad scale on which you can actually apply this technology to across footwear, across fashion, across other verticals is why it won the sustainability initiative, right? So we can broadly apply a technology that can go into an insole, a midsole, an outsole, even an upper, and other projects that could apply to a variety of materials. And that is, quantitatively reducing carbon and being transparent in the life cycle and the sustainability elements of that material. So I think it was selected on the scalability of that, the sustainability, the initiatives that we have in it, and performance too.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know, you guys use Green Circle Certified, who we've had on other FTRA events and talking about processes and looking in certifications, and you guys went through that. And you're also USDA bio-certified. So maybe really quickly explain why that's important when people are looking for something they can trust. So it's not, I guess what I'm saying is there's a lot of people saying that their product's sustainable. How do you guarantee it?
Yeah, so, Green Circle Certified, I'll start with the USDA Bio Preferred program, which is a great program because it certifies you for bio content, which I can define in a minute. But the idea there is that you're preferentially preferred as a product to the US government over other products that are non-bio. And to reach that milestone, you have to be over 15% bio content. Our 70 to 80% material easily exceeds that target, and as now can be preferentially used in things like government agency, anything from military to postal in terms of shoe components that are made locally in the US, right? Which is a great program. And I think that's a strong initiative from the government to kind of try to bring things that are more sustainable into their supply chains. So that's a separate thing that measures bio content. But what Green Circle Certified does is kind of go through our whole value chain to make sure that the stuff we're saying and measuring in terms of carbon analysis or C14 carbon analysis, which measures new carbon versus old carbon, is actually going into products like this Vans product here. And so we use certification, and we recently got a vegan certification because it's being requested more by brands. And so obviously our products are vegan, and because there's no animal-based product in there, which is important to decipher actually from one perspective. Bio content measures new carbon. You can get new carbon from animals and you can get it from plants. And so bio content really describes new carbon versus old carbon. I think the measurement's about 1,000 years. And that really refers to the dating of new carbon versus something that's made 250 million years ago from fossil fuels, right? And so bio content really defines bio or new carbon. And so when we get certification, a lot of the times they'll use the C14 analysis to measure the carbon. What we do is talk about plant-based because there's more than just carbon that goes into our product, like nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur compounds that actually make up the material. And that's usually higher than the measured quantity. So our plant-based contents are as high as 82% in some of our standard products. So, and it could be measured 75 or 76 on bio or something like that. And so we use certification to kind of be a little bit more transparent to the community, to understand, we're doing what we're saying we're doing, but more importantly, we back that up, not just that this is bio, but we back it up with life cycle analysis data, which can quantifiably tell you and measure and benchmark us against the status quo or petrochemical-based materials. And so by using plants instead of petrochemicals, we naturally are a more sustainable alternative, but we're also quantifiably, factually carbon reducing as a technology.
Part of the other conversations we have about sustainability too is the value play of it, right? So there's all these questions, well, will people pay more? Will people do this? So cost is part of that, but so is performance and comfort. And I know that when you guys talk about, having a plant-based product, especially the insole, traditionally people will look at something like castor bean oil or something like that and have a problem with performance where it degrades or it, scrunches up, it doesn't even bounce back. So how do you guys approach the performance aspect of it, and how does this fates kind of pan out in that kind of thing? Because I think what you guys are on is kind of this new scientific thing where we have our mindset still on these old things we've talked about for a while, and now you guys are doing something a little bit different that's kind of exciting.
Yeah, and I think, this took us back kind of, 7 years from the inception of the technology, was to create it for performance. We think sustainability and performance go hand in hand. And so we derived the technology to start and initiate a project like the Vans EcoCush to have a sustainable product that is well over 70% plant-based material and also performs the way they need it to be. So this is, it's a drop-in midsole technology, low compression set, high rebound, high comfort, and can be used in skate shoes where you need, a higher durometer, a little bit more hardness, higher rebound, and something that's more comfort based, right? So we can tweak the technology towards the customer's requirements while maintaining the sustainability element of the material. So we have materials today that we can make in excess of 90–95% bio content. The problem is it doesn't, supply chain issues, costs, but also performance doesn't measure up to what the brands need. And I think, I always look at sustainability as incremental. We will have technology that comes out over the next couple of years that will be even more sustainable than one we have, but it will match performance, or performance will match the requirements of the brand's performance, attributes, right? And so we look at things really about we want something that will last. So you want to wear it the lifetime of the shoe. You don't want to chuck it out in a couple months. That's not sustainable. We're giving you something that's plant-based, but if you're throwing it out and have a lower user cycle attached to that, then you're just creating more carbon in that life cycle of that product. So, we have to look at things from a full life cycle of the full product, the full use of that product, and then also capture things like the end of life of the product as well. But I will, without going into the whole biodegradation thing, which is a little bit of a quagmire of a discussion these days, but I will say that we build these to last. We build them so if they do get thrown away, there's no toxic elements leaching out of these materials, but it's really built to last and it's made from plants. And I think that's where we took a little bit different route to maybe some other applications, to really focus on that performance and that innovation and that technology element along with the sustainability.
Yeah, and we say it all the time. It's like, what good is a sustainable shoe if the person's wearing it and it falls apart in 1 mile and they toss it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No sense whatsoever. Yeah, it's made out of 100% plant-based, but you can't use it. So congratulations. I don't know what we're doing here. You said something really interesting at the start about, when you guys won the award, it's because the technology that you guys have is very scalable and usable. And I know right now you guys are scaling up at a large scale, I guess. especially with your new plant. I think it's in Vietnam. So maybe talk a little bit about that, because I think it's interesting always to hear about suppliers and their strategies around scale and making sure that that technology can come to life and really start to serve the industry.
Yeah, I think, we started in China. We have a partner in China that uses our material to manufacture products for the brand. So really in that supply chain, we're like a tier 3 or tier 4 customer, right? Mm-hmm. And we felt there's more value in moving up to that tier, to being able to offer components, but also not just because we wanted to be closer to the brands, but we think we can develop better product for them, working directly with them, tailoring the materials for a manufacturing process that fits into their supply chain. So we essentially become less disruptive. We don't have to worry about, do we have enough material at this facility? We actually can inventory our material and make our own products. We're starting with insoles and midsoles and maybe some outsole technology there, really on a specific type of material, but expanding this to blockers or open cell technology as well. And that just gives us a framework to be able to push the new innovations in a lot quicker, because it's basically our company, working with it, understanding the nuances of it, the difficulties of it, because a lot of other companies will say, oh, your material's different. It doesn't work the same way as mine. I don't want to touch it. We will understand that. We have the ability to manage that a lot better, so that we basically can push innovation out a lot quicker, make sure it's marketable, commercial, and that the brands can come directly to the component supplier as a material supplier, which is very different in the industry, I would say, and be able to work with us. And if there's problems, be able to work with us on those problems as well. So we think that this vertical integration idea is a great concept. We're going to have a lot of success in Vietnam. We already have a lot of business flowing into there, new business flowing into there. And I think that will give us basically a new gateway into the rest of Asia on whether we distribute materials alone or expand operations. But at the same time, we're looking at expanding operations in the US. I can't talk much more about that at the moment, but there's some plans in the works to actually repatriate some production over here to work with the domestic network, and also some networks that relate to Canada, Latin America, and even Europe.
That's awesome. Sounds great. Sounds like another Kicks Over Coffee episode we need to have when we can finally talk about that. As we wrap up, what kind of coffee are you drinking today?
I'm drinking a Toronto-based companies. They do their own beans. They do their own roasting.
Yep.
So I have a special coffee machine in the office here for everybody to use, and sometimes they don't use it properly and they get the heck. But I always make sure it's properly stocked and ready to go. I was away for a couple of weeks. The coffee ran out. I did get in trouble, but people like it. And the lab guys come over from across the way and make sure they have some of the good coffee over here. So it is good coffee. It's fair trade, and it's nice medium roast.
Yeah. Well, I think increasingly, if people are going to be in the office more and more, especially they got to be in a lab doing stuff like you're doing.
Yeah. It's
nice to have that cup of coffee that they don't have to get on the street and pay, well, I don't know, God, $4 now for a cup of coffee from Starbucks or something. Yeah. So good for you, taking care of your employees, taking care of the environment. Good job. So you're checking all the ESG boxes, Jason.
That's it. I do have one thing to add on we just recently got a federal government grant for $2 million specifically for innovation and research. So we're going to expand our research capabilities and innovation, and this is going to really lend itself to new product and new innovation coming out over the next couple of years. So we're very excited about that. The grant is going to really move the technology forward at a greater pace. So it's been a recent thing. So a lot of good things happening at Avoco, but I will say that a lot of great things will be happening in the future with us.
That's awesome. Do you see more grants like that coming out than in the past, especially focused on sustainability initiatives?
Canada's great for R&D grants, which is something we do, but this size of grant is actually a really probably a new thing, and that's really going towards sustainability initiatives and technologies like ours that are kind of global, have global aspects to them as well, right? And so I would say that the grant, the size of the grants are changing. We've always been able to attract R&D grants into the business. That's how we kind of built ourselves up. But this size of grant actually will really help the R&D, so we can really focus the rest of the business on the commercial elements, but actually still build up the R&D facilities and have a greater spend on R&D than kind of our cash flow and stuff like that would allow.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. You got a lot of good stuff going for you. I appreciate you joining me on this latest edition of Kicks Over Coffee, so we can take a look behind the company who's doing so much in the industry with their insoles. You just showed the Vans, you call it EcoCush. Is that what it is?
Vans EcoCush. It's in their Circle V product and a Lizzie skate shoe. So the Circle V is a kind of a simple construction, 3-piece construction, canvas upper, rubber outsole, and then the drop-in midsole. So, very sustainable in its construction. No, minimal stitched and hand stitched and stuff like that. And then the Lizzie is a skate shoe. Can I get?
There we go.
There you go. And then
Look at that.
So pushing on the Vans product, but we have a lot of more interesting products coming out. Obviously, everything's seasonal and development and pre-production or production now, but a lot of good things happening. But Vans have been a great supporter and are looking to do a lot sustainable initiatives with their footwear products.
Awesome. Well, Jason, thanks for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Have a good
Folks,
one.
make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Kicks Over Coffee, and keep watching all the latest episodes that we dropped. And as a reminder too, on our podcast episodes too at shoeandshow.com, make sure you follow all that. These are really built around important conversations we need to have as an industry so that we gain new knowledge, gain new ideas, gain new opportunities and solutions. So cheers to that, folks. Keep drinking coffee, keep wearing kicks.